and talk to our credit guru, the man, the myth, the legend that we have sought out and work with because he gets the job done. Everybody has the fear of working with a credit person to help them with their credit, and they're always nervous about who they hand them off to. And Gino, you know.
Well, this is Rondi Lambert, and he's been, in the Wall Street Journal, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. I mean, it really speaks for itself. He's a published author. It's just a wealth of knowledge, and really helps you get back at the banks for improper reporting. So that's really what we're going to jump into today, I think.
Yeah, and what's nice is why we also like work with Rondi is he doesn't, other than initial setup fee to get you rolling, he doesn't charge you until he actually accomplishes your goals, and that's what we love about him. And he's knowledgeable, and basically it's great job for our clients so far. Everybody we sent to him, nothing but raves. And Rondi, you here with us, buddy?
I am here.
Woohoo! That's right, Rondi Lambert with Fortress Credit, and we wanted to touch on a very relevant subject right now called the short sale.
Hey, Don, it doesn't have to be that disappointing. I think Rondi has some good news about short sales. Isn't that right, Rondi?
I do. Short sales, everybody thinks short sales affect credit scores, and there's actually not a FICO score code for a short sale. So short sales affect credit score not one single point. It's the 90-day late, the 30s and the 60s that affect the credit score. I know you guys see that on the credit reports all the time. You see the little note that says settled for less than full balance. But that's about all you know if it was a short sale or not.
Absolutely. And we've seen a trend in this year, which we didn't see last year, Rondi, where we're encouraging homeowners to not miss payments. They can actually successfully achieve a short sale without missing any payments. Would you say that's the ideal candidate for this situation?
Obviously, it makes sense not to miss the payment if the bank will allow you to do that. And if you do that, then there's programs out there that you can buy a house immediately afterwards because it's the missed payments that kill the score. But if you've gone through and you've missed the payments, you've gone through the short sale, it's been a month or a year or 2 years or 5 or whatever, we can still help you. And the way we help you is there's over 200 laws that protect people from banks, collection companies, and credit bureaus. We understand those laws. And one of the laws requires the bank to immediately remove the short sale or the mortgage account upon receipt of the letter we send them. So federal law requires them. If they get the letter on Monday, it's got to be removed from the credit report on Monday. And if they don't, they're violating federal law. And because of that violation, you then can sue the bank and the credit bureaus for them not following the law.
So you mean they don't have a waiting period? The same day they receive notification, it must be removed from your credit?
The law states upon receipt of dispute letter, the account must be immediately removed from the credit report.
Wow. That's good stuff, Rondi. And you're listening to Rondi Lambert with Fortress Credit on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Hour on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And Rondi, one of the other things I heard just recently is that a lender, when they do handle a short sale or foreclosure, aren't they required to let you know that it is going to negatively impact their credit score? And if they do not, then it basically becomes a default judgment and opens the door for you to do your magic?
That, I've never heard that because the short sale does not technically hurt credit score whatsoever. So I've never heard that.
So that's more so maybe for a foreclosure then?
That might be some wives' tale from a brother, sister's, neighbor's, cousin's best friend from college.
Okay, and that's why I wanted to bring it up because I heard that, and I remembered you on this show mentioning to people that the short sale doesn't affect their credit, and I'm like, well, then how can that be? So thank you for clearing that up because we always want to get rid of those myths because people sometimes take action based on poor information, and that's why we love bringing you on the show as much as possible, Rondi, because you always give valuable information that we can trust.
You know what's interesting, Don, is I also think that we've always talked about getting the short sale removed for the purposes of buying a new home. Well, I don't think everybody's necessarily ready to get back into a new home if they just went through a short sale. What would be nice, Rondi, is actually if you could help them out and get their credit score looking nice, it'll help them rent a place as well, because I know sometimes it's hard to rent a place if your credit is less than perfect.
It's almost impossible nowadays to rent a property if you have bad credit. Because there's so many people that need to rent, it's a way for the landlords to screen you. Just like nearly 7 out of 10 employers will pull your credit when you go to apply for a job. And there's people literally that hire us to get the short sale removed from their credit report so that way they can get a job. Because an employer, the last thing they want to do is hire someone that has bad credit that they're going to get garnished, and now they got to deal with garnishments. And so if the employer has a choice, he'd rather hire someone with good credit. So it's more than just the ability to buy. But I want to back up two things I wanted to back up on. Short sales do not affect credit scores. They do affect credit worthiness and ability to purchase.
Of course.
The biggest problem that I see is someone goes successfully through a short sale, does everything the bank tells them to do, and then the banks forget about you, and they don't remove the fact that you no longer owe them money. And so we're seeing a lot of banks still reporting that you're past due every month, you still owe them money, they're sending you to collections, and so that becomes a big problem for some people. So you need to make sure you're looking at your credit report after that short sale to make sure that it's actually reported correctly. The second thing I wanted to clarify is we used to charge a setup fee, and we decided we're no longer going to charge setup fees. The way our business works now is you hire us, we do the work. When we're successful getting it removed, we send you a bill.
Wow.
No fees whatsoever out of your pocket until we're successful.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's huge news. That's great news. Well, I wish we had a little more time, Rondi, but I appreciate your help and your guidance. And if you guys want to reach out to Rondi, please give us a call at 855-DG-RADIO. There's a tremendous wealth over there of knowledge when it comes to your credit, as well as now I just heard that waiver of all setup fees. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's new. I like that.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Rondi. And I also